Modified The Story of Two Doctors by Sudha Murty F63. Adapted and modified by Kulwant Singh Sandhu. Contents 1. The Story of Two Doctors. 2. Comprehension. 3. Grammar page. The Story of Two Doctors by Sudha Murty revised. My sister, a physician in a government hospital, endures an arduous schedule, often laboring through protracted hours. Her night duties, fraught with relentless demands, leave her physically and mentally drained. Government hospitals, though often bereft of sophisticated amenities, embody a bastion of hope for the indigent, offering treatment at negligible cost. One evening, after an especially grueling night shift, my sister returned home, her visage etched with exhaustion. She had performed a slew of intricate operations, each demanding her utmost focus. Scarcely had she crossed the threshold when the hospital summoned her again for an urgent procedure. As she prepared to depart, I, moved by her weary countenance, ventured a protest. I understand that patients are paramount to doctors, I said, but you've toiled ceaselessly for 24 hours, you're human too and require respite. Couldn't another doctor handle this emergency? Why not rest? She offered a gentle smile, her eyes alight with quiet resolve. It's not just me, she replied. My colleagues too exhibit the same tenacity, working tirelessly despite their own need for rest. As the senior-most doctor, I must lead with fortitude, setting an example. For the greater good, one must practice abnegation, sacrificing personal comfort. Don't you recall the story of anesthesia? With that, she departed, leaving me to ponder her words. Her mention of the anesthesia story stirred a memory from years past, when she had shared a remarkable tale. Its veracity I cannot ascertain, but its profundity lingers. Centuries ago in England, there lived a father and son, both doctors of exceptional caliber. The father, renowned for his assiduous pursuit of medical advancement, sought to innovate beyond the rudimentary practices of his era. His son, youthful and intrepid, shared his father's zeal for alleviating human suffering. In those days, surgical procedures were harrowing, as anesthesia as we know it was non-existent. Patients were often rendered unconscious with chloroform, a crude and risky method. The senior doctor, driven by altruism, dedicated himself to a groundbreaking endeavor, developing a medicine that, when injected locally, would render only the surgical site insensate, sparing the patient the perils of total unconsciousness. This precursor to modern local anesthesia emerged from his relentless experimentation, blending various compounds to achieve efficacy. His assiduous trials yielded a cogent solution, a formula that numbed a specific area without systemic effects. Yet a formidable obstacle remained. No one volunteered to test this novel concoction on a human subject, a prerequisite for its official sanction by the medical community. The doctor's son, born with a rare anomaly, 6 fingers on his left hand, proposed an audacious solution. Father, he said, your medicine is a triumph. Inject it into my 6th finger and excise it. I've long wished to be rid of it. Let us perform this operation before an audience of peers. If I exhibit no pain, they'll witness the medicine's efficacy, for no one could endure surgery without anesthesia. His suggestion was cogent and compelling. The father, recognizing the opportunity to validate his life's work, sent word to the Academy of Medical Science, the authoritative body tasked with approving new treatments. On the appointed day, a distinguished assembly of scientists, physicians, and dignitaries gathered to observe the historic procedure. The father presented his son's anomalous finger, explaining the medicine's mechanism. I will now administer the injection, he declared, and proceed with the operation. Observe the patient's demeanor. As he injected the solution, the son's face bore a serene smile, exuding stoicism. The father commenced the surgery, deftly removing the 6th finger. Throughout, the young doctor's expression remained unruffled, his smile unwavering. The onlookers, astounded by this display, erupted in applause, hailing the senior doctor's innovation as a triumph. They departed, convinced of the medicine's transformative potential. In the quiet aftermath, as the son dressed his wound, the father's composure shattered. Tears streamed down his face as he enveloped his son in a fervent embrace, sobbing uncontrollably. "Forgive me, my son," he whispered. "I knew the torment you endured, yet you concealed it from all." In his haste and apprehension before the operation, the father had made a grievous error. The injection required 4 precise chemicals, but he had omitted the 4th. This oversight rendered the medicine wholly ineffective. As the scalpel cut, the son endured excruciating pain, yet he discerned his father's mistake mid-procedure. To reveal his agony would have doomed his father's years of toil, discrediting a medicine he knew to be effective under proper conditions. With unparalleled fortitude, he maintained his serene facade, his smile a testament to his altruism. The father, too, realized his error during the operation but was powerless to confess it publicly. He understood the depth of his son's suffering, masked by that resolute smile. When the audience dispersed, his stoicism crumbled, overwhelmed by gratitude and remorse. The son, ever steadfast, consoled him. "Father, do not grieve," he said. "For the welfare of countless others, I embraced my pain. Your work will save many, and that is worth my sacrifice." The story's historical accuracy remains uncertain, but its essence resonates profoundly. In my sister's unyielding dedication, her willingness to forego rest for the sake of her patients, I glimpsed the same spirit of abnegation. Her colleagues, too, embody this ethos, their tenacity mirroring the intrepid young doctor's resolve. The medical profession, I realized, is replete with such sacrifices, unsung acts of altruism that enable healing and hope for others, often at great personal cost. As I reflected, I saw my sister not merely as a doctor, but as a beacon of fortitude, her life a testament to the principle that true service demands the courage to place others' needs above one's own. The story of the 2 doctors, whether fact or fable, endures as a powerful reminder of the sacrifices that underpin medical progress, inspiring those like my sister to persevere in their noble calling. 2 vocabulary comprehension questions and answers. Question 1. In the story, the sister's decision to forego rest is described as an act of abnegation. What does this suggest about her actions? Question 2. The father's pursuit of local anesthesia is driven by altruism. How does this word reflect his motivations? Question 3. The sister's schedule is described as arduous. What does this imply about her work environment? Question 4. The father is described as assiduous in his pursuit of medical advancement. What does this reveal about his approach to developing the anesthesia? Question 5. The son's suggestion to test the medicine on his 6th finger is described as cogent. Why is this word appropriate for his proposal? Question 6. The sister and the son both exhibit fortitude. How does this quality manifest in their actions? Question 7. The father is said to innovate beyond the practices of his era. What does this suggest about his contribution to medicine? Question 8. The son is described as intrepid in proposing to test his father's medicine. What does this word highlight about his character? Question 9. The son's stoicism is evident during the operation. How does this quality affect the outcome of the procedure? Question 10. The sister's colleagues are described as displaying tenacity. What does this suggest about their approach to their medical duties? Answers. Answer 1. Abnegation suggests that the sister willingly sacrifices her personal comfort and rest to prioritize her patient's needs, reflecting self-denial for a greater cause. Answer 2. Altruism indicates that the father's motivation is a selfless desire to reduce patients' suffering during surgery, prioritizing their well-being over personal gain. Answer 3. Arduous implies that her work is extremely demanding and strenuous, involving long hours and intense physical and mental effort. Answer 4. Assiduous reveals that the father worked with persistent, careful, and dedicated effort, meticulously conducting experiments to perfect his medicine. Answer 5. Cogent indicates that the son's suggestion is clear, logical, and convincing, as it offers a practical way to demonstrate the medicine's effectiveness to the medical community. Answer 6. Fortitude manifests in the sister's endurance of exhausting work hours and the son's ability to withstand surgical pain without complaint, showing strength in adversity. Answer 7. To innovate suggests that the father introduced a groundbreaking new method, local anesthesia, revolutionizing surgical practices of his time. Answer 8. Intrepid highlights the son's fearless and courageous nature, as he boldly volunteers to undergo a potentially painful surgery to validate his father's work. Answer 9. The son's stoicism, his ability to endure pain without showing distress, ensures the operation appears successful, convincing the audience of the medicine's efficacy despite its failure. Answer 10. Tenacity suggests that the sisters' colleagues demonstrate persistent determination, continuing their demanding work despite fatigue and challenges, much like her. 3 grammar page.